All right, this is going to be a quick video, which is not going to be super efficient because I'm not going to edit it. I'm just going to try to do it. um, so basically, at a high level, what we're doing is we're grabbing our new version of our source code, and then we're also going to clone our Bitbucket repository, and then we're going to merge the two in just with a copy paste kind of thing, and hope for the best. And then we're going to push it back. So here we go. First, let's go ahead and clone our repository. So I'm using SourceTree here from Atlassian Free App, and somewhere in here you can set up your account to Bitbucket. Get maybe here. Anyway, you can find it somewhere. You can do that. And then if we click, whoops, not new group, new repository, it'll give us the option to clone an existing repository. And if we click on this little world icon, it seems to give us kind of what we want. So we're going to grab the C40 document library management and hit OK. It's going to populate that, and then let's put it in not a valid source path URL. Huh, let's try it. Oh, can't try it. All right, instead of that, I'm going to go over here to I went to Bitbucket C40, and then at the bottom it shows our document library management. So I'm going to go there, and then this is the URL. So let's grab this one. Looks like I actually need to update my settings. All right, let's try that. Is that going to work? Yes, this is a Git repository. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and clone that, and I'm just going to go ahead and use the default path here. And I'm going to make the bookmark B because I already have one of these, or temp, something like that. All right, so what this is going to do is it's going to basically clone, which just means get or check out or copy or whatever you want to call it, down our Git repo. So now I'm going to jump over to see where that's at. Whoops. Okay, so here in Brendan, Git, what did I call it? C40. There we are. All right, so this is our cloned one. Sorry, I need to kill a few of these tabs. Pathfinder, very useful finder alternative. All right, so here we have. Now I'm going to create another tab for our source control, which I think I have right here. Sorry, I mean for the latest code drop, which is not checked into Bitbucket. So I'm going to grab that. Here's the latest source code. You know, I actually already did get it, so it's going to be in downloads right here. Let's go ahead and expand that. There it is. And now I'm going to go over to just going to move things into temp. It's kind of where I like to work out of. Get rid of all this stuff. Okay, so now what we can do is, they have their SVN reference there. But anyway, let's go ahead and just copy everything directly into and on top of our Git repo. And as long as our .git here stays the same, that should be fine. All right, so we're going to go ahead and replace everything. Great. Now, if we go over to SourceTree and open our repo that we downloaded, what it's going to do is it's going to look at all the changes and tell us what those are. So for instance here, let's try to get it all on the screen. So we can tell that they updated the POM. Aha! Here is the current version we have checked in, and here is the version of the source code drop. And then we can see other changes too. And for any files that they updated, it's going to look like this. So we can also see all the changes in this file. Now we have a lot of stuff here that we don't want. All these blue question marks are subversion garbage that we don't care about. But it looks like that's basically all it is. Okay, so these were the only two changes that they made to these two files. So now if we want to commit those, what we're going to do is just drag those up into here, and in Git that means staging them. You hit OK. You have to stage something before you can commit it. So we have to, just to high level Git, this isn't a Git tutorial or anything, but you have to stage something, and then you have to commit it to the repository, and then that's your local one, and then you can push it up to the master. So if we look at our master branch here, so these are all the check-ins for this repository. So the only check-in so far was just the first check-in I did. These are the uncommitted changes that we were just looking at. So we've staged these things. So now let's go ahead and click on, oops, let's go, it doesn't really matter. We're going to go ahead and commit the changes. So I click commit, and those changes, and then you add a message. We'll say updating to latest AppFire source code drop. And then there's a, can I scroll over? Okay, there's a commit button on the right here that's just out of the screen view. So it will try to do those. Now it's just committed to my local repository. Great. Now, this icon here, it's a nice feature of SourceTree, will show us that we're one push behind. So we're one out of sync with the remote repository, which you can kind of see here. So we've advanced one locally here, but this origin master, that's the pointer to what's in the actual repository. So anyway, from here, all we have to do is push. So I'm going to push, and you just say OK, and now it's pushing that commit up to Bitbucket. And now if we go and actually look at Bitbucket here into our C40 document library management, I just did a refresh, and we can see 12 seconds ago I made this commit. And if we click on it, you can kind of dig around. It's not jumping me there. All right, what if I click on this? If I click on this, the actual commit number, it shows exactly what changed, which is kind of amazing and phenomenal. But if we just click on commits, it'll show us all the commits at a high level. And so the only two commits to this are the first check-in that I made, and then the update that we just now made a minute ago. So I know that's a bit confusing, but let's just review. So basically we just cloned the repository that we wanted to update. If you've already done that locally, you wouldn't need to do that like each time. And then we just grabbed the source code from the web page that AppFire uploaded. And we copied that into the repo. I guess I kind of left a step out here where we downloaded the source code, but then we copied it on top of our clone. And then we used the source tree to see what changed. Probably should have built everything to see that it's builds, but I skipped that step. And then we staged and committed those changes, which were to our local repository. That's just how Git works. You stage and commit things, and then you push them using SourceTree. And then it's just comforting to double check the Bitbucket site for the pushed changes that you just made. So that is how to merge in code from a separate location that is not in your Bitbucket or your Git repository. Hope that's helpful. Thanks for listening.